Mavis is completely over Luca and ready to slide up under a new man. What's good, y'all? She gets this Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another The Survival of the Thickest video. In this one, we are breaking down season 2, episode number 3, titled "You Can Hold Your Own Way, Man." If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss out on any of my survival of the thickest content and conversations. This was a very interesting episode, but specifically interesting because not Mavis running around trying to hoe, not Daphne and Marley competing in the dating Olympics trying to outdo each other, but because Khalil winds up finding a good therapist and is in therapy and starts off great. Not necessarily like having a major breakthrough, but having a moment that solidifies his need to be there and also makes him comfortable enough to give what therapy requires, and that is your all and honesty. And in the first session, the therapist played by Hassan, shout out to Weebay, he always gonna be Weebay for me, playing Dr. Lawrence. He points out how important it is for Black men to know where they are and be able to like triangulate where they are and allow themselves to feel the emotions where they are and speak those emotions, and not push it down, not bury it, not hide it. And Khalil reveals in the session that he feels lost. They basically Dr. Lawrence is able to uncover that Khalil is struggling with his normal coping mechanism for life, as in being sex with whomever, whenever. It's no longer working anymore. And he actually pointed out exactly what I said in the last episode of like, he wants more. Once you have experienced great, once you have experienced excellent, good is not enough. Once you have tasted the creme de la creme, who wants to go back to whatever is not the creme de la creme, you know? And I just thought it was so dope how we got to watch not only the therapy session, so Dr. Lawrence and Khalil talking Black man to Black man, but then also listening to how Khalil unpacks his feelings at the very end of the episode, talking to Mavis when he starts to tear up a little bit, but then also like when he talks to his homeboys after playing while playing basketball, and he's like asking for recommendations for a good therapist. It's like the build up of like, okay, he's more nervous to ask about, okay, I need a good therapist than like a lawyer or bail bondsman or whatever. And I felt like that moment, while comedic, because the show, again, is a comedy, it just felt so real and so relatable. And what I would imagine a lot of men might be experiencing if they were in Khalil's shoes. So this was a really, really major episode for the Khalil character, and it's making me love him even more. Now, I was at the end as they were approaching the end, and we were having a moment with Mavis and Khalil in his art studio. I was like, oh God, I hope they're not about to go into this little friends that F contract, because they were talking about why I gotta be so hard while you're single, why can't I just find somebody to have sex with, why it gotta be this, it gotta be that. And he's like, you know, explaining like, yeah, we wasn't running for women for no reason, whatever. And it seemed like they was coming to commonality and like just wanting to be able to hunch on people or hunch on somebody and like it not be so hard and trying to find people to connect with in that way. And I was like, Lord, please don't let them decide to hunch on one another. And they didn't. Mavis gets herself a vibrator, which, girl, you should have had that the whole time. When she was asking, like, how do they do it? How do single people get off? Like, girl, why didn't you have a vibrator before? I'm just not understanding. Because that's the first, like, that's where you start, baby girl. And I'm just going to leave that at that. Also, what happens in Mavis in this episode, she hooks up with Jake, the bartender down at, is it CC Bloom's, I think it's called? Who's been giving her the eyes and pressing her, but he want to make sure that she's not trying to wife him up, because you know she making lemon bars after he done put it down. She done had the dirty, dusty ass sex with Dion Cole's little raggedy ass character Lamar, And this is on her search at the earlier part of the episode to like find somebody to hunch on. And then she finally gets to Jake. They have an amazing night, have amazing sex, and she wants to continue to do it. However, because she has only known like monogamous relationships for real, and she has never really had a true whole phase, she is doing things that feel very like relationship-esque, which is a turnoff for Jake. And I absolutely love the moment where she confronts him at the bar, and like Khalil was just sitting there and he's like listening in and like chiming in of like, girl, you baked him what? Tell me you ain't do that. And like Jake is listing all the things of like, you trying to wife me and I ain't trying to do all that. I'm just trying to have some sex. And she's like, no, actually, I really just am a good person. Da, 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 da. And it was just so funny. But like the subtext of like what was being said just spoke to one where she had, girl, you do actually want a man, but you do want to get your needs met, but you're also kind of lost in this moment and trying to really figure it out and trying to force yourself into like doing what you deem is going to be your new normal. It was just very intriguing to see that play out. And then also in like watching Jake as he was responding, the more he realized how detached she was, the more I think he was actually turned on or reignited to like want to sleep with her after he had ghosted her from the first time, thinking that she wanted to wife him up. It's like, sir, no shade to bartenders, but like, what about, like, aside from her baking them damn lemon bars, what about this means that she wants to walk down the aisle with your bartending ass? Let's be real. And in the moment with the little drag queens over there, like, bigging her up as she's reading his ass down. Hilarious. Now, Marley and Daphne, like I said, are in the Olympics competing for who is going to have the best date. Daphne plans the first date, and it's this very elite moment at this restaurant that Marley thought that she knew inside and out. However, she never had the VIP experience, and it goes off smooth without a hitch. It's great, and Marley thinks that she could top that by recruiting her little I don't even, is she an ad agent? I don't know what she is, but she's a high-powered executive. She get to talk to these white men like they crazy, or like she crazy, and I absolutely love it. Every time she does it, I love it. I think it's kind of impractical, but she's damn the boss, so hey, do it, baby girl. But she gets them to like help her plan her date, which is supposed to be like a private dinner at the Brooklyn Museum, but something happens, some emergency, they can't actually get in, so they wind up just outside on the steps having some food from like a local shop that she likes. And it's still romantic, it's still cool, but it really just shows exactly how much both of them are into each other. And I love the dialogue of like Marley saying like, it's been a very long time since I have wanted to impress anyone, and I wanted to impress you. And it's just like, oh, not Marley really being smitten off the bat. Like, she has been very standoffish, very type A, very like moving with defense mechanisms. So I think that Daphne is going to be the thing that like really peels back the layers to her, and we're going to get to see a more vulnerable, a more tapped in Marley. And I'm excited to see, like, I have liked her character from the beginning. However, she is more closed than Mavis and Khalil. While supporting and loving them, she still moves through the world kind of like a wrecking ball. And I can totally see Daphne being the thing that helps soften her up. It's interesting watching the transformation and the journey of each of these characters separately. But then the one of the major strengths of this show is just how they show their friendship for this threesome, because these people show up for one another and they love each other within this friendship so beautifully, and I absolutely love watching it. All right, those are my thoughts for episode number 3. Let me go ahead and get into episode 4, child, and go in the comments and tell me what you thought. Let's keep this conversation going, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.